This episode of Going in Raw is sponsored by Liquid IV. October is here, and that means the weather is getting cooler, football is on every weekend, and Halloween is nearly upon us.
And with so much to like about October, make sure you're at your best with Liquid IV's new Hydration Multiplier Plus Immune Support Mango Passion Fruit. One stick of Liquid IV and 16 ounces of water hydrates better than water alone, and with 5 times the daily value of vitamin C and 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink, Hydration Multiplier Plus Immune Support gives you the scientifically formulated immune support you need.
So tear, pour, and live more and support everyday wellness with Liquid IV. Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use code RAW at checkout. That's 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code RAW at liquidiv.com. Hey, friendo, Steve here.
Hey, Larson.
Welcome back to Going in Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to. On today's episode, the question at hand, yeet or no yeet? For now, no yeet, not yet, Larson.
Talking about Smackdown, I thought you were posing this question to me.
No, the question really for us is irrelevant. It matters exclusively for Jey Uso whether or not he will eventually yeet with Roman Reigns and his brother Jim Uso, who once again fell for the new bad bloodline, Larson.
Yeah, it was another bloodline-heavy episode that seems to be what SmackDown is going to be centered around, as it has been for the last 4 years, more or less, going into Survivor Series War Games, because odds are we're going to get good bloodline versus bad bloodline. We were wondering about how they were going to get to bad bloodline, maybe interfering and cost Jey Uso the Intercontinental title on Raw next Monday. And I don't think in that course of that discussion we had in a Raw review, did we ever think that Jey Uso would just pop in on SmackDown?
Didn't see that one happen. I was kind of worried they were going to fast track this thing. But the cool thing is, at least from my standpoint as a fan of the OG bloodline, we got some of that old tension back. We got some of that old, what's going to happen here? Especially every single one of those OG bloodline segments always had that moment where you're like, oh shit. This was no different when Jey Uso was laying in a Solo Sikoa, and number one, I loved this. He gave us a little hint of backstory that they actually had reason to stay away. And you can kind of extrapolate maybe because they're just too bad. These bad guys, Tonga Loa, and Jacob Fatu and Jey Uso, as he's talking to Solo Sikoa, as an aside, says, and if you don't stop staring at me, I'm going to whoop your ass. And then he looks over at Jake. So we got that Jey Uso, Jacob Fatu right there, kind of once again giving Jacob Fatu that credibility. And that had everybody kind of floored, like, oh shit. You know, man, we've been critical, and I think rightfully so, about the bad bloodline stuff in between Roman's departure and his return. Mm-hmm. Well, now have you noticed that with the old bloodline, with Roman and Jimmy and now Jey involved, Solo does come off as quite a bit more legit than he had when there was a vacuum.
Yeah, I know. And I don't know. Part of that is stepping up to the plate, so to say. I don't know. Part of that is he's got better material to work with, or if, I don't know, or if it's simply a conscious decision from creative to say, we're going to book you more legitimately now. Because that was always the issue, was in that power vacuum, he assumed the role of tribal chief, but he very much felt like a pretender to the throne. Hadn't won many matches over the course of the last year. Basically won none after beating Cena, and failed to beat Cody for the WWE title. But yeah, especially since Roman's been back, and and the segments between them haven't been strictly beatdowns.
Yeah,
there's back and forth on the mic. It's offered Solo an opportunity to showcase more personality, and with that, I think we're seeing more confidence from him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And his performance has been better because of it.
I agree. I do think that in that interim, there could have been, and there maybe should have been. Obviously, they're the tag champions right now. I'm not sure how long that's going to last now with Motor City Machine Guns. Shake your fist. Break your fist. Whatever it says.
I think it's raise.
Oh, so raise your. Oh, they do that at the end. They raise their
Yeah.
fists. Anyway, we'll get to the theme
Couldn't
song.
they just license their TNA theme?
We'll get to that in a second here. Um, in any event, I think that Solo. Look, it's one thing to sort of be I'm the man now, but like accomplishments. When Roman pitches to him, I want to take us back to the top where we have paychecks, paydays rather. We've got championship accomplishments, out the ass. I want to bring us back to that. It's basically saying, Solo, you're kind of a loser. You don't have much to show for your time here as presumptive tribal chief.
Even if you go back to the bit with Jey says to him, you can't just take the Ulafala. You have to earn that.
You got to earn it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so basically they see Solo as simply a disruption to the family, a disruption to the bloodline. He's making them look bad. He's bringing in these assholes from that they've already decided they're too scumbag for us. And he's just sort of, peeing all over the legacy of that wonderful family tree presentation that The Rock made in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Remains to be seen if The Rock is going to be the guy pulling the strings. I think that's still of interest, but they haven't really hinted at that, I don't think. I'd love to see that go down, but I kind of feel like I'm holding out, or I'm not going to get my hopes up because who knows what kind of negotiations are going on with The Rock's role at WrestleMania, if there's going to be a role there. I'm sure
he's apparently, like last week, responded to Meltzer's thing. Where he said,
I
don't
know,
believe that
but
BS, which...
Again, doesn't that feel like adding fuel to the whole speculation that he's just playing games with WWE right now? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's a big work. Who knows? Who cares? In any event, what I'm responding to is what I see on the television. And yeah, I think that your point about why, if it's creative or if it's just he's got more to work with, I think this is the sort of situation where before, what did he really have to work with? Now he's got all that history all built up. So now he's got more things to say. He's got more things to bounce off of. And so we see, more of what Solo has to offer. He looks a lot less like, the Fry guy and a lot more like, oh, this guy could actually be a legitimate threat here to Roman Reigns and the bloodline. And it's going to be a lot of fun to see how that plays out.
Yeah, and if they do have the match at Crown Jewel, I really do think Solo should win that first one.
Oh, Solo versus Roman.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, it'd be due to bad bloodline interference.
Dude,
but at that point,
agree,
Roman would be
man.
at rock bottom, It's
you
like...
need that. You need something.
You
got to motivate the damn War Games match.
Exactly. And if Roman beats Solo, gets the Ulafala back, where's the motivation for the match? Where's the motivation for Roman to really make the recruiting effort to get Jey and Sammy? Like right now, he just said, hey, on SmackDown tonight, he just said to Jey, hey, I'm proud of you. That was it.
Oh, you're going to need to do a lot more than that, Roman.
Contrition, Roman, and a lot of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to apologize a shit ton.
Yeah.
Just saying, good on you, Oos, ain't going to cut it,
Not after what you put that poor son of a bitch through.
Nope.
Yeah.
No way.
And I like that Jey. You could see the twink. I'm telling you, man, Jey Uso is a fucking performer and a half.
Yeah,
he really is. And you could see, as soon as he's confronted with Roman, it's that wonderful mixture of anger, sadness, betrayal, all that stuff, resentment. Yeah, Roman's got a lot more. He's got a lot more to do, because I was worried that the thumbnail was going to be outdated by the time we went live because, the very end segment was the Solo Roman encounter. Of course, once again, bad bloodline. They beat up Roman and Jimmy, and they stand tall. And I was looking at the clock. I was like, man, Jay's going to come running out here, isn't he? And I'm so glad they didn't do that.
Because you had to redo that thumbnail. That'd been a lot of work right before you start the show.
That also from a storyline perspective, that would have been a big pain. Logistically, it's a pain in the ass, but mainly from a story perspective, changing thumbnails fine. But from a storyline perspective, they got to drag this out. You got Sami Zayn's got to be the voice of reason for Jey Uso, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that. Here, let's talk about the bloodline stuff as it happened on the show. There's quite a bit. It was very much felt like a bloodline heavy episode from 2-3 years back.
And it benefited from it. It really did. SmackDown was firing on a lot of cylinders tonight. But
It was a
again,
solid show tonight. Yeah.
when you got the Bloodline stuff running through the episode, including those little segments backstage with Roman and Jimmy, you got yourself, people are going to want to stay tuned to that.
Exactly. So Solo comes out to open the show. Sorry, we get a full recap of Jimmy's return, his efforts to recruit Jey on Raw, and then trying to convince Roman last week at SmackDown that was all a good idea. Then Solo opens the show. He makes his entrance with the Bloodline. They all come to the ring. They raise their one. Steve, you gonna put your one up for your tribal chief?
I'm so tired of this conversation, man. You know who I put my tribe
pretty clear.
Wait, I've heard who came out? Roman? Who came out first? Solo? Oh no.
I just said your. You make the choice. It's like Burger King.
Have it your way.
You rule.
Yeah. But Solo doesn't. So, no, I'm not going to put my ones up right now.
All right. So Solo says Columbia, South Carolina. That's where they were. He says, acknowledge me. So the crowd chants Solo sucks instead of cheering or acknowledging him. He says, y'all better get used to seeing this because you're looking at the present and the future. You're looking at the bloodline and you're looking at the tribal chief. See, I'm the man that created a stronger family, a stronger bloodline. I did that, and Roman can't do anything about it. Jimmy can't do anything about it either. Oh, then check this out. Then Jimmy goes to Raw to try to get Jey's help, but Jey doesn't want anything to do with it either. No yeet.
No yeet.
Says these beatdowns will continue to happen to Roman unless he does one thing. Come down to the ring at the end of this night and acknowledge me.
So then Jey comes down,
yeet.
And he's going to try to talk some sense into his little brother. So he says, what's up, little brother? It's been a minute. I'm not here to fight you. I still care about you. You're still my little brother. He says, Jimmy and Roman aren't here yet, so I came to talk to you one-on-one. He wants to avoid Jimmy and Roman as much as he can.
Yep.
But he cares about his family still. He says, think about what you're doing to the family. Think about what you're doing to the bloodline. Nobody's got more issues with Roman than I do. You're tearing the family apart. I left to be my own man. I went to Raw, and he holds up his title in his face as I became the IC champ, little brother. He says, look, though, fighting over the Ulafala isn't it. That's earned. You can't take that. But if you want to end Roman's power, then do it. Just don't divide the family while you do it. So Solo gets pissed off. He says, are you done wasting my time? He says, I'm not even trying to divide the family. I'm trying to unite the family. And stop calling me your little brother. I'm your tribal chief now.
Your tribal chief. Yeah, who's your tribal chief, Steve?
Mine is Roman Reigns. I've got the title.
All right, put your ones up for your tribal chief.
I'm not going to. I'll put them up when Roman shows up. Roman's not here yet.
I don't know why you're making such a deal out of this. It's crystal clear what I'm talking about.
I don't know why you always make a big deal about it. That's called gaslighting right there, buddy. I don't appreciate that.
Nah.
I know you're doing it because I cost you that extra point today on our reactions to Dave Meltzer star ratings, which you can find right now at the Friendo Club Wrestling channel.
It did cost me a point. I should have got 4 and 9 instead of 3 and 9. That's on you.
You should have got 6 and 9.
I hope you sleep well tonight, or don't sleep knowing that you cost me that point. It keeps you up.
Your first one. I will sleep well.
Yeah, you're gonna sleep. You're gonna sleep all through the night. You're gonna have great dreams because you cost me that point.
I'm gonna have dreams of that extra point running away from your ass. So, anyways, afterwards, Solo's continuing. He says, "I don't want you to follow in Jimmy's footsteps. So are you in or out?" Because he says you and Roman have a place in my bloodline, probably behind Tongaloa. And Jey says, look, what you're saying is true, and you're trying to, if what you're saying is true and you're trying to unite the bloodline, then why did you have to get these suckers? He says, there's a reason we stayed away from them, and if you keep staring at me, Jacob Fatu, I'm going to knock your ass out. And Solo holds Jacob back. He says, but I'm not here for that. Next time I see you, it's going to be different. Next time.
That's going to be on Raw.
That is going to be on Raw.
It's going to be on Raw.
Yeah.
What do you think Jey meant by it's going to be different?
Oh, next time, if he sees him again, it means he's going to throw hands.
On site.
On site.
Yeah.
That's what the kids say. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that's absolutely what I gathered as well. It's going to be on site.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Maybe Braun Breaker's going to be... How great if Braun Breaker was the new honorary Oos.
That'd be something. Well, I mean, Heyman had some segments with him in NXT, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, wait, did he? Yes, he did. I remember that.
Yeah, he did. Laying the groundwork all the way back then, 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Anyways, good opening segment. Did not expect Jey to be on SmackDown tonight at all.
I was worried that they were going to fast track it, but I thought this was a good move. I like this. I like, you got you get that bloodline stuff together, with everything that's happened. That's called earn. That's long-term storytelling. That's what that shit is, man. The follow through, Larson. Anyways, we'll talk about more follow through here in a second. We got to follow through paying some bills, though. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Yeet.
Let's take a quick break here to get a word from our sponsor, Liquid IV. Steve, it's October.
Yes. Yeah.
And let me tell you something.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot to like about October. Let me list things to like about October. We got cooler weather.
True. Yep.
Weather was great today.
Yeah, it was a little windy.
But really good.
Yeah.
Weekend football. Looking forward to some weekend football. Halloween, that's coming up.
Oh,
that's always
that.
fun.
Yeah.
Most importantly for us, the start. Professional basketball season. Can't wait.
Oh, dude. I cannot wait, man. Not to mention our basketball season, our year-long epic encounter, all year, every year, is still in full swing. And to play our best, we need to be at our best. And with Liquid IV's new hydration multiplier plus immune support mango passion fruit, we get 5 times the daily value of vitamin C and 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink. So our body gets the immune support it needs.
Yep. Powered by Live Hydra Science, 1 stick of Liquid IV and 16 ounces of water hydrates better than water alone and is an essential part of our semi-weekly basketball games. And I mean essential, because I don't know if I could hit 1 3-pointer after another right in Steve's face and do that for 2 straight hours, twice a week, without Liquid IV. Why you look all confused?
Because that doesn't happen.
Read your next line. Tell me it doesn't happen.
That's right, Larson. I'm completely powerless to stop you from hitting 3-pointers at will. That's nothing I would ever say.
But you asked me to write a line for you. There it is. Anyways, now with hydration multiplier plus immune support, we can also get scientifically formulated support for healthy immune systems and all-in-one hydration.
That is true. So tear, pour, and live more and turn ordinary water into extraordinary hydration and support everyday wellness with Liquid IV. Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use code RAW at checkout. That's 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code RAW at liquidiv.com. Yeah, man. Also, coming up, we're pay-per-view free for a couple weeks, man.
Correct.
Nice to have our entire weekends back for a little while anyways.
Yeah.
But we've got the next predictions challenge where you, Larson.
Me? Yeah.
And
I would win.
all the friendos that have
I
the
would
friend.
win.
And all the friendos.
Yeah, they could. I want to win. They can win, but I want to win.
Well, you can. They can also, but they've got to be signed up for the Friendo Club setup. Larson and I have the Friendo Club setup. You can get it too.
Yeah.
And you can win this amazing Big Blue Predictions hat if you win the Big Blue Predictions Challenge. How often will you wear this hat if you win, Larson?
I mean, if I win,
yeah,
I won't take it off my head except maybe to sleep.
Really? You're going to take it off for the 8 hours?
I'm a side sleeper. I'm a side sleeper.
So
Wait,
you
what?
can wear it.
No, the bill's going to get in the way. I can't wear it to sleep.
No bill.
No bill. Right, no bill.
So anyway.
Now you make like a beanie version or what is they call a sleeping cap?
Larson, if you win, I will make you a sleeping cap version of this hat.
And then I'll wear it exclusively to sleep.
Because that cap will have no bill.
No bill.
No bill on the cap.
No bill.
So, here's the deal. It's very easy. You click join right here at youtube.com/Steven Larson, or you go to patreon.com/Steven Larson, click on the Friendo Club setup. We have over 700 bonus episodes because we're so old and we've been doing this for a very long time that you can check out right now by getting the Friendo Club setup at patreon.com/Steven Larson or clicking join right here, youtube.com/Steve and Larson. While you're at it, if you don't have the money to plunk down, there's another great, free, easy way to support Going in Raw, and that's by clicking the thumbs up button right here on YouTube, leaving us a comment, and if you're listening to this in the audio realm, of course, leaving us a rating, review, or a comment. Also here on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button and the notify bell. That really helps out.
It does. It does.
Burr Winning says next weekend we have Bound for Glory and Halloween Havoc. No. The next predictions challenge is going to be, what is it, a 2-event situation, Crown Jewel and Full Gear? and
Well,
War
then the
Games?
following
Is it
weekend is
3?
Survivor Series, is War Games, so it could just be a
Okay.
month-long deal.
Okay, so it'll be another month of Champions. It'll be month of Champions 3 or 4. I forget which one it is.
Because then I think in December there's only World's End. Unless we want to include a Saturday Night Main Event in there.
Heather says it's a shame y'all are going to miss Maple Leaf Wrestling's premiere shows this weekend.
Isn't
just because we don't
Bully Ray wrestling Jinder Mahal? That show? Is that the show?
That's amazing if that's a true.
is.
I'm not clued in.
I know that match is happening. I know it was a Maple Leaf Pro too.
Hell yeah. Who's going over? It's got to be Jinder, right?
You'd think so, but Bully Ray is the Brock Lesnar of Impact, so.
Dude, he will politic. Yeah. Just here's the thing, Heather. Just because we're not live streaming doesn't mean we're not going to check it out. I didn't know about it until you just said that, so maybe I'll now check it out.
Yeah, at least look for clips on social media.
Yeah, the social media, I'm probably going to leave Twitter soon.
Same.
What are they doing over there?
Nothing good, I can tell you that.
What is that jackass doing?
Being a jackass, Steve.
Anyways, let's talk more about Bloodline.
Let's do it.
So after the first tag qualifying match, which we're going to talk about shortly, this is how we do the notes now. We just do all the Bloodline stuff in one, and we do all the stuff just in big chunks, so we're not zooming back and forth.
We're focusing on stories.
What the hell? Heather says Takeshita's wrestling speedball. Is that one of those fake graphics? That's real?
I think that's a real thing.
God damn, that's going to be a match and a half.
You got that right.
Wow. Holy moly. And
That'd be
Bully
really
Ray?
good.
Jeez. Anyways, after the first tag qualifier, Roman and Jimmy arrive at the arena, listening to some unreleased Travis Scott, and Jay steps up to them, glares at Roman, tries to leave, but Roman stops him and says, I'm proud of you. We all are. I mean, he's making barely an effort.
Well, I feel like what he said was earnest, but considering all that happened between Roman and Jay, it's hardly enough.
He's a proud man. He doesn't want to admit he can't go full. He can't do it fully right now.
No.
He's got to build to it. He doesn't want to humiliate himself, which is what he's got to do.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And Jay just responds, man, no yeet.
No yeet. He gets no yeet. Now, that's what Roman said, no yeet. So why should he? Roman's basically got a bag at this point, man.
Yes.
Oh, man. And now Zach Steve says Takesha's facing Josh Alexander. He's doing double duty. Josh Alexander and Speedball. That's amazing.
Yeah, I heard Takeshita and Alexander. Is that Maple Leaf then? I can't remember.
I don't know, man.
But I did know that
There's
match
so
was happening
much
too. So then Roman says to Jimmy, I told you, come on. So later on, they're in the good bloodline locker room. Roman's sitting on the couch just stewing over what happened, and Jimmy comes in and just hovers over him. And Roman's like, what are you doing? And Jimmy says, I'm trying to relax you, man. I'm trying to fill in for the wise man. And Roman says, well, if the wise man was here, it'd be taken care of by now. We talked to Jay. We made it clear. Sorry, he made it clear. Look, I gave it a shot. We tried. Time to do it my way. I'm going to fix this tonight. And Jimmy asks him, well, what are you going to do? And Roman says, I'm going to acknowledge Solo.
Yeah, okay. So let's pause here. Number one, I love this segment for a couple reasons. Number one, one's up for Roman Reigns. Absolutely.
Your tribal chief, yes.
This is up for Roman Reigns, man. I don't know what that finger
Your
is.
tribal chief.
I don't know what your finger is, where it's
is.
been, what it's doing. This is my finger. It's clean. It's going up for Roman Reigns. I washed it before the show. It's a clean finger, Larson. Look, you got yours all over your nose. Look at that. Oh, my God. Oh, no. A couple things I loved about this. Number one, a little bit of the humor that we love, the chemistry that we love. Number two, doesn't it illustrate that they kind of need the wise man? Because Roman's plan was not a good plan.
No.
That's what you got the wise man for. And Jimmy is definitely not the wise man. And Roman's not the wise man.
I mean, Roman said as much last week.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't hatch the plans.
He doesn't know what to run. He's out there with no coach.
No
offensive coordinator.
Nope. So to close the show, Roman comes to the ring. He's going to acknowledge Solo. He says, put your ones up for your tribal chief. He says, Columbia, South Carolina, maybe for the last time. Acknowledge me. Go to commercial and come back. Solo's music hits. He comes to the ring. He's got his wrestling gear on now, so you know there's going to be physicality.
Yeah.
So he and Roman circle each other. Crowd's chanting OTC. Roman said, earlier tonight, I heard that you told Jay that our family is stronger now. You told Jay that our bloodline was stronger. I don't see it. I don't see anything that tells me we're better off now. If anything, we're divided and broken. after everything we've been through, everything we lost, and stand here divided like this, Solo. I told my father I was going to fix this. That was heartbreaking. He says, all I want to do is put us back in the promised land. Titles around our waist. I want abundance. I want our family to be a priority. Tell me what I have to do to fix this. And so Solo just laughs. Ha. He says, that's an easy fix. All you got to do is acknowledge me. And Roman's like, oh, all right, I acknowledge you. There. Does that make you feel better? Yeah, and then Solo goes, oh no, that's not good enough.
Nope.
Need you to acknowledge me as your tribal chief. The crowd starts chanting, no. Solo adds,
no,
I need you to
don't
acknowledge
do
me
that.
as your tribal chief or else.
Oh.
Gave him the or else.
Roman
or else
yells.
what?
Or else what? And then Solo laughs and he's like, ha ha ha, look at you. There he is. You never changed. You always wanted this. Since you never changed, I'll never change either. And then he tries to snap with his thumb wrapped and there's no snap sound. I mean, I know he wasn't necessarily near a mic, but still, he's like.
Yeah, I know.
Anyways, Roman's like, what was that? I couldn't even hear anything. And then he looks over and he sees those idiots come out. And they have a beaten down Jey Uso. So Solo then looks to hit Roman with a spike, but Roman ducks, clotheslines Solo out of the ring. Roman fights off the rest of the bloodline, hits Solo with a Superman punch. Then he sees that Ula Fala, gets horny immediately. He just stares at it, can't see anything else in the world. He puts it on. He's got it on for a couple seconds. And then Solo's able to come to, hits him with a low blow right in the balls. Bad bloodline beat down Roman. Solo picks up the Ula Fala. The crowd is chanting, yeet. No yeet, though. Jey Uso's not there.
No yeet.
He's already gone. And then Jacob hits Roman with an implant DDT. Grills Destiny hold up Roman, and Solo hits him with a spike. Then another. Jacob puts that Ula Fala back on. I'm sorry, Jacob puts the Ula Fala on Solo. Solo says, this is my ring. This is my Ula Fala, my bloodline. These people acknowledge me.
One's up for your tribal chief, Steve. It's the last time I had to say it.
You said that last week. You say that all the time.
For this
you always
episode.
say it.
Well, this is the last bloodline segment. I won't say it anymore.
Oh, for the rest of the episode?
Yeah, for the rest of the episode.
All right. I'm
So
going to
come
put
on,
it for Roman
humor me.
Reigns.
Humor me. Put your ones up for your tribal chief.
Yeah, I'm humoring for Roman Reigns right here.
Your tribal chief, yes.
Don't need to qualify it. Don't know where that finger's been.
So let's talk the tag division on SmackDown. So there was 2 triple threat matches announced earlier. This was interesting. I know they basically said it was Motor City Machine Guns making their debut tonight, except without explicitly saying it was Motor City Machine Guns. So to avoid any confusion and to ruin any measure of surprise, they took to social media to have a little backstage video of Nick Aldis and Motor City Machine Guns signing their contracts.
Wait a second. In their video packages, didn't it say Motor City?
It said MCMG.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's why I said it basically was confirmed as Motor City Machine Guns.
Yeah,
But
right. I don't know. I don't know, I don't know why they would have done that. I don't know why they would have done that.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But I mean, I'm not I'm not against it. It's not like I don't think I would have been like, "Oh my god, wow." Like if they hadn't done that. I'm cool with that. It's like, hey, you know what? Advertise that they're going to be there. I'm cool with that.
All right. So
Why?
during
What-
that same video.
What bone do you have to pick with that?
No, I mean, even though it was pretty much confirmed as Motor City Machine Guns, it's still something to be said like, oh, there's a mystery third team coming in here. And it's Motor City Machine Guns. People are like, yay, Motor City. But, of course, the theme, lame. Well, the theme's half
okay.
lame.
No. Stop there. Let's talk about this. This needs to be a beefy discussion, Mr. Music Man. Let's get your reaction to the
So it's
MCMG
interesting.
theme song.
It's interesting. So it starts out lame. The whole refrain, lame.
Wow.
But once it kicks in,
Yeah.
it's actually not a bad tune, and then it goes back to the refrain. I'm like, it's just very Def Rebel with, like all the vocalizing and stuff. When it's just the instrumental, where it changes up just instrumental, it's like, okay, this is kind of catchy. This works.
You know what it reminds me of?
Hmm.
The opening track on Queens of the Stone Age song for the Deaf. What is
Yeah.
it? You think you know you're a millionaire, you're not a millionaire, something like that?
Yeah, but it ain't
What is
worth the dollar or something like that.
Yeah. You think I ain't worth the dollar? Yeah,
That's
that
a really good
one.
song, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a really good song. This sounds like a crappier version of that, but the inspiration seems, I don't know if it's inspiration. That's what I hear when I hear it.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of the, break your fish bit at the beginning.
That's what I'm talking about, the vocalizing stuff. It's like musically, it's not appealing at all.
Yeah. Yeah, once you're absolutely right though. Once it kicks in, it's like, oh, this is kind of
It's a
driving,
catchy
you
tune.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
it's a
is
catchy tune.
absolutely.
Yeah, they should ditch all the
Just
Def
go
Rebel
straight
type
to
stuff
that.
and just the tune, which is not bad.
Yeah, like
If not, they're going to do.
if you let the machine gun sound effects at the beginning be the intro,
Yeah,
and it kicks in like as a punctuation for that, I think it'd be much cooler.
I think so too.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I don't think it's terrible though. I don't think it's
It's
you know
half
it's
terrible.
not awful. It's like, where do you rank it against Braun Breaker's latest theme?
Oh, Braun Breaker is consistent at least. It's consistent, just all right.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'll take consistent all right over half terrible. Because even
Okay,
to hear
but
the
if it's
good
half
parts, I have
terrible,
to
what's
get
the other
through.
half?
Well, the other half's good, but I have to get to the terrible stuff to get to the good stuff.
Oh,
And at a certain point, the terrible part is probably going to overshadow the good part,
Wow.
and it's going to be insufferable. So I'll take Braun Breaker.
okay, all right. Fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. I think they're kind of on equal level. I kind of like the main part of the Motor City Machine Guns. I think honestly the bigger issue, and I don't mean I'm not trying to make light of anything, is that these days, unfortunately, in this country, there are incidents that happen in real life where they're going to have to take that shit out with the beginning. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that shit kind of happens. And I'll just put it this way, and this is not me joking around or nothing. I was legitimately surprised that they opened this up with like machine gun fire sound effects.
Yeah, I was too.
Given you know the climate that we kind of live in these days.
Yeah.
It's a dicey topic, I know, but
Oh, absolutely, it is. It really is. And no, that's it was surprising to hear that. So
I mean, I figured, okay, it's you know, it's not Vince anymore, and they're not going for PG anymore, and so like just the name would be fine. But yeah, I was kind of surprised that they opened with that, given how sensitive a topic that could be sometimes.
totally. No,
Yeah.
I agree 1,000%.
But we'll see.
100%.
We'll see.
We'll see. So, anyways, getting back to the video that they put on social media. In that video, Nick Aldis announced there'll be 2 triple threat matches. Winner of each of those matches will face off, be new number one contenders. New number one contenders. The tag titles. Slow it down. First triple threat match, Street Profits, DIY, Pretty Deadly. That happened first on the show. DIY gets the win in somewhat controversial fashion. We have a double pin after Street Profits hit Elton Prince with a Doomsday Blockbuster. Ford covers there. DIY hits Kit Wilson with Meet in the Middle. Ciampa covers there. Ref counts both pins. And then apparently Kit Wilson, tagged in right before the finishing sequence. So he was the legal man for Pretty Deadly. Therefore, he's the one that ate the official pin. DIY advances.
Yeah.
And then later in the show, we had A-Town Down, Los Garza, and Motor City Machine Guns, the second triple threat match. Not surprisingly, Motor City Machine Guns get the win here. They hit a bunch of their classic offense, finished with the top rope crossbody, neck breaker combo to get the win. So DIY versus Motor City Machine Guns is going to go on next week on SmackDown. If they give that 20 minutes, it could be spectacular.
Oh yeah. That's gonna be a match. Yeah. That's gonna
Work
be
rate.
really good
That's
stuff.
the word.
Work rate match.
Work rate.
What star rating do you think Meltzer would give it?
Well, it's in WB, so it's probably going to top out around 3 3/4.
He's gonna say it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But he's not gonna say it's insane.
No, he's not
period.
going to say it's insane.
Right.
You know, I'd read that he called that triple threat match, Ospreay, Takeshita, Ricochet, like the greatest of all time before he did star ratings. I had that spoiled for me. Just that line.
Oh yeah, I didn't ask you that. If you had that spoiled for you or not. If you had any
That
of the
actual star
stars.
rating?
Any of the star ratings spoiled.
Full transparency, yes, I knew what the Ospreay one was beforehand. That's why instead of it's more entertaining if I just give the wrong number, I feel like.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
I wasn't going to get it. I wasn't
I
going to
think-
say what it was.
I think
because it's cheating.
whenever. Oh, that's interesting. Do you think, like in your heart, but can you even tell? I don't even know if I'd be able to tell in my heart of hearts if I'd be able to get the right answer on that.
On that one?
On a general match that I have spoiled, like a match of that magnitude that I have spoiled for myself on accident, which has happened before.
Yeah.
I don't know if. Well, that betters your score though, because
Oh, if
now
you take that one
it's
out.
what, 3 of 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I usually just do that. I'm like, hey, this got spoiled for me, so I'm just gonna take it out.
Yeah. Yeah, I just feel like it's more entertaining for me to get it wrong, and then I think it's better content for me to.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, no, I'm down with that. That'll be
That's
the new
just how I roll with
precedent.
it.
I'll just make it, a goofy.
It's kind of anticlimactic if like that match especially.
It's that match.
If like, oh, sorry, got it spoiled for me.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So let's do the thing. I'll get it wrong. It's good better content.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's my attitude.
Yeah.
So I didn't say anything
loves
about
him. He might give this, if they give this match, look, dude, if they give this match 20 minutes, he'll mention that it's like a 4.25 star match or a 4.5 star match or something, because it's going to be a fucking good match. Believe me.
Yeah. It is really good.
Also,
all right.
Oh boy, man, look, me, we're about to talk about Cody Rhodes and this fucking crown jewel championship. Now, you know me, man. I love Cody Rhodes. Don't get me wrong. I don't think anybody would be able to make this fucking thing mean anything to anybody. Wayne, I'm sorry, but and I kind of like the thread. I'm not going to read all this shit. But he brings up, his thesis is, hey guys, how cool would it be if Harley Race would have fought Bruno Sammartino? And you feel 80% of the crowd be like, who the fuck's that? Or or if Ric Flair fought Nick Bockwinkel, people be like, Nick what? Bach what?
I wonder if Ric Flair did face Nick Bockwinkel.
He had to have.
That one seems like a match that should have happened.
Right? And then he brings up a reference that everybody knows, because this match could still happen, and it wouldn't shock me if it did at some point. Goldberg versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. He says, how cool would it have been if WCW champion Goldberg fought Stone Cold Steve Austin? It'd been a stunner. That's what it would have been.
Yeah, it would have been a stunner.
1, 2, 3.
Anyway. Stone Cold Rich Holland would have made an appearance. Or could make an appearance.
Yeah. So anyways, he says, what if when these what ifs do happen, the results have often been unsatisfying. Yeah, this ain't going to be no different, Cody.
He's talking about with those super cards they had in the 80s.
I guess, right? Like Lawler versus Von Erich or some shit like that.
Yeah, AWA and WCCW and all the promotions.
Pro Wrestling USA or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called.
Anyways, he says, when it comes to Crown Jewel at the end, there will be a champion. Champion versus champion. I'm not going to disparage Gunther. Widely respected by his peers and legend. God, he just talks a lot. He says, why do I think I'm leaving? Here's his thesis. Why do I think I'm leaving Crown Jewel as champion? For starters, look at this. They have me in the Mania Night 2 main event year after year, baby. Gunther's a mid-card champion. No, he says, for starters, look at this piece of shit. One of the most beautifully designed titles in the history of our sport. No, it isn't. I hear Triple H saying 50,000 of carats of diamonds. Yeah. He says, let's see here. Oh, he says, when I came back to WWE, I wanted the John Cena schedule, so I didn't have to be at home that often. And he says, I've paid the price, and I'm not foolish enough to think I'm done paying the price. The real reason I think I'm leaving Crown Jewel as champ, she's sitting at home right now, and I need her to know that when my bones turn to dust, that my name was the first on this title. Nobody's going to give a shit. Nobody's like, look, your child will have plenty of accomplishments that you've done, that you've made to be proud of.
Yeah.
You're going to accomplish, you've already accomplished a lot in your career. You're going to have a lot more. This ain't even in the top 20. Yes, Larson.
In 10 to 15 years, is this belt even going to be a thing? Are they even going to have this belt
10 to 15 years? In 2025, this ain't going to be a thing, man.
Exactly.
In December, this isn't going to be a thing. He ain't wearing this thing. He'll probably look. He will most likely put this in a case at home, assuming he wins. I'd be still kind of shocked if this isn't going to be a wonk finish with Kevin Owens. He's going to buy a ticket to go to Saudi Arabia and wonk this finish, so Gunther wins it, in which case it'll be in Gunther's case at home, because all these wrestlers have cases where they have their actual titles. That's going to be the extent of it. Ginny is going to see this thing. Baby Gunther's going to see this thing. And maybe sometimes Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci, where the hell's that guy been, are going to see these things.
He's wrestling on Speed. Vinci is.
What?
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't know I had to be watching Speed.
Yeah, he's in the latest bracket I saw a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, if this is Cody's best effort to muster up some enthusiasm for this match, Try again, man.
Oh, he's just coming up. You know, Brandy mentioned he was like, "Oh, this man looks so good after coming off the international tour," and he does. He's a very handsome looking man. That being said, he's probably just tired. He's jet lagged. He's like, "Look, this shit means nothing. I'm gonna give you guys the Cody Rhodes, 1, 2, 3 here, but that's all you're gonna get from me."
Yeah. I mean, he culminates by saying, "Hey, Gunther, come to SmackDown next week, and you can write your dissertation about why you want to win this title."
Yeah, it's going to be Gunther smiling, trying to make a case for himself as well. It's going to be boring also. I love both these guys. I do. I really do. But nothing can make me care about this damn title. Who's my favorite person? Like Punk probably right now, my favorite guy. Punk couldn't make me care about this thing. Nobody could.
I don't think anybody
Rhea
could.
Ripley couldn't make me care about this thing.
So then right after the Cody segment, they have a recap of all the stuff happened last week. We're going back to Bad Blood, Kevin Owens attacking Cody, recap of Kevin Owens interrupting SmackDown, then beating up Orton. Then, this was on social media earlier. Kevin Owens put this up. He's got a Matt Chat question from his car.
He does.
Talking about how upset he is that he is suspended. So based on all sorts of atrocious things that people have done in and out of the ring in WWE, and they haven't gotten suspended. What, I'm getting suspended because I beat up the Golden Boy? I beat up Cody? It's unfair. He says, I don't feel appreciated by this company, and I can't get over what Randy did to me. I can't believe you betrayed me like that. I've never done that to you, ever. I thought what we had was different, dude. I just can't believe you picked Cody over me with everything that's happening right now, the disrespect shown by WWE and Randy breaking my trust. I really don't know if or when I can come back. So there's all sorts of rumors swirling about Owens' contract status.
Yeah.
And they're kind of working that into a story.
Mm-hmm. Which I think, if I'm not mistaken, totally lines up. I think that's probably not this right here, but I think his contract, if I'm not mistaken, it was 2019, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, 5-year deal. Yeah, that
yeah,
sense.
yeah. But yeah, they do the thing. His contract's coming up. Hey, let's give you something meaty to work with.
Exactly.
And this is really good stuff.
It is.
Let me ask you about this next bit though, because Orton walks into Aldis's office. He's like, I got to get my hands on Kevin Owens. I want to do it at Crown Jewel. Aldis is like, hey, that's not something I can do right now. Orton's like, I'm not asking permission. I want him at Crown Jewel. Let's do it. And he's like, listen, it's not that I don't want to. I can't, because it's coming from up, north, up. The fourth dimension of space-time.
Yes.
Top.
Up, not
and
forward,
Orton's like,
up.
Right, up forward. Orton says, oh, I know now who I have to talk to. I'm assuming it's not Nick Khan.
No, it's Triple H.
It's Triple H, the game, Paul Levesque.
Triple H getting himself in a storyline here on TV.
He's like, oh, I got to go talk to Lee Fitting.
Yeah, exactly. Triple H like, I don't know what you're talking about. You got to go talk to Lee.
Oh, yeah, Lee doesn't like Kevin Owens doing what he did. You got to go talk to Lee.
Got to go talk to Lee.
Yeah, man, Lee's going to eat an RKO. My one problem with this, I know Crown Jewel's coming up here.
Yeah.
My one issue with this, though, is I kind of wish that Orton saw Kevin Owens' perspective a little bit more here. They are running buddies. They do go back a little ways now. They did have a bond.
Yeah.
And you would think that and I know he's the Viper and everything, and it's wrestling, you settle it with fisticuffs. I'm not saying this shouldn't lead to a match. I'm saying he came in hot. Like he was like, man, I'm going to fuck this guy up. Show a little understanding, like what, don't you understand where he's coming from with all this?
No, I don't disagree with that.
That's my take on that.
No, I don't disagree. And that's probably one of the many reasons Kevin Owens is upset. It's like, oh, you're obviously taking Cody's side on this thing rather than seeing both of our perspectives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and even like the back elbow that he gave Orton last week could be seen as inadvertent. He probably thought it was just a security person.
I feel like Kevin Owens would have been granted the benefit of the doubt now by Randy Orton, and maybe he should try a couple more diplomatic avenues. But again, this is wrestling.
It's wrestling. It all ends in fights. So let's talk about the WWE Women's title scene here on SmackDown. Early in the show, Nia's on the phone with Tiffany, and Nia's like, what? You got the flu? I got to deal with Liv and the Crown Jewel title. I got to deal with Naomi and Bayley. We're going to have a tag match, but if you're sick, not going to be here, Aldis is going to cancel that. And Aldis is standing right there, and he's like, oh, no. This match isn't canceled. There's a lot of other talent here. You could find yourself a new partner. Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell step in, and Candice says, as the first Speed champ, I wouldn't mind helping you out. And Aldis just kind of says, all right, booked. So Nia tells Candice, You better hold up your end of the bargain, or I'll end you. It'll take me less than 3 minutes. Then Nia will be the new speed champion as well as WWE Women's Champion. Then.
Well, she'd have to go through a tournament for that.
They don't defend the title outside of tournaments?
I don't think so.
That's odd.
Maybe I'm wrong about that. Am I wrong about that?
I have not seen a single solitary second of Speed.
AJ Otani said he's a Speed fan. I think he means the Twitter WWE show, not methamphetamines.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe Cosmic says only in tournament.
All right. Well,
I've only ever heard of tournaments, so that's what I figured it was.
I guess so. Yeah, that makes sense.
In any of it, Burr winning, so you got to win that tournament.
That's to get the title shot, yeah.
What's that? I think that's to get the title shot. Yeah. The champion isn't in the tournament. Yeah.
Gotcha. So you win tournament and you're champion. You just kind of chill out until the next tournament, and then you actually defend the title.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
But the tournaments are only 3 minutes long.
Well, the matches in the tournaments are not, the whole tournament is longer than 3 minutes.
Theoretically, they don't have to be. Theoretically, the tournament could be 3 minutes long.
That's true if every match ended in like 15 seconds.
It'd be like that Suzuki versus growth hormones match we did in Rebook Raw that time.
The squash match mechanic is turned on all of them, yes.
Oh, boy, it ruined your entire season.
It ruined the entire idea I had for that show.
I know.
It's probably for the best anyways.
Yeah.
So in the last match, what's that?
Sometimes you just can't pivot, man.
Nope, can't. So in the last match of the show, Naomi and Bayley team up against Nia and Candice LeRae. And Candice gets the win, hitting Bayley with a lion salt after Indy drives Bayley into the ring post. Nia seems surprised, maybe not all that happy that Candice got the win, but it might be interesting dynamic now if Nia sees, I can rely on Candice and Indy without having to worry about them cashing in on me. Mm-hmm. It might say, Tiffany, it's been good, but we're not friends anymore.
I hope so. I don't know. Was there a report as to the reason why Tiffany Stratton wasn't there?
No, I haven't seen anything. No.
I'm assuming it was something legit that she couldn't be there.
Mm-hmm.
But it would be fortuitous. It'd be awesome if Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell were brought into this storyline and maintained a role in the storyline. That'd be kind of cool. And I love this for Candice LeRae, man. She's really cool.
She is.
Also, this was cool. Lash Legend Jakara and Jakara Jackson here made another SmackDown appearance. This time, Lash Legend took on Piper Niven and got the win. This was awesome. And what was really cool about this is they featured, I understand like the SmackDown crowd, not everybody watches NXT. So this is kind of they're in a getting to know you phase on main roster, which I think is smart. But they focus on the more impressive things she can do, namely doing cool things, picking up Piper Niven, which is really impressive. And that you can audibly hear the crowd be like, oh, shit. That's a great way to get somebody over, man.
It is. Because when she got Piper up for her finisher, that was really impressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you see they cut and they make sure that Jade and Bianca are there in the crowd. Like, oh, damn, they're to be taken seriously now. I thought that was a really good little booking move there.
It was. So, Lash gets the win. That's awesome. And then finally here, Andrade and Mello, they're getting ready for their Game 7s going down next week. 7th match, best of 7 series. So Byron tries to interview him. They just end up starting arguing and pushing and then fighting. And then during the process, all that, I believe it's Andrade's necklace, his chain, falls off. So Mello picks it up and punches Andrade right in the gut with it. Mm-hmm. It gets broken up. So later, Byron's interviewing Nick Aldis. He says, Mello, Andrade, both been removed from the building, and I found a guest ref for the 7th match, and it's LA Knight. Yeah. So he says, calling it right down the middle, and they're not fighting for a shot at this U.S. title. They're fighting to get smacked back to factory settings. What an interesting line that is.
Yeah, he's got some good one-liners. Sometimes it takes him a second to get there, but he's got some good
one-liners. If you can remember what those one-liners are, they're pretty good sometimes.
This is an Adam Pearce level mistake that Aldis is making here.
Yes.
Yeah, this is out of the norm for Aldis to do something this stupid. It's perfectly in line with Adam Pearce. That guy's a maniac.
He wants chaos. Yeah.
He invites chaos Aldis is doing a play from Pierce's playbook here. This is a bad move.
It
This
really
match
is.
is gonna end in a fucking. It's gonna end, but it's gonna be wonky as fuck, and there's gonna be no clear winner between the two of them in terms of like, oh, who really should have come out on top.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Overtime.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, overtime, exactly. Triple threat is what it's gonna be.
Yeah, it's going to be a triple threat at Crown Jewel, probably.
Might be a good one too. Anyway, so yeah, that's your SmackDown. Would you like to answer some questions?
Yes, please.
Well, let me get to the questions. That's another benefit. That's another benefit to doing the old Friendo Club setup. Not only do you get all 700 plus bonus episodes, not only do you get access to the Big Blue Predictions Challenge where you can win this hat right here, you also
Or a
get to
sleeping
ask
cap
us
if you so
questions.
choose to choose sleeping cap.
Or sleeping cat. Hey, that goes to everybody. You know, I already sent out the hats to. I sent out the latest hats. I think even who's our newest champion right now?
Gregory.
Gregory Faella.
Yeah, just won the last.
Gregory
Challenge.
Faella. Yeah, I forget if I sent it to him, but yeah, dude, old sleeping cap, beanie,
Yeah.
any
beanie.
headwear
What about
that-
beret?
that we have available. I don't know if we have berets on our
About a
merch
top hat.
site because
Or
I just
derby.
go through the merch site.
About a
A
derby.
derby? Isn't it like a cap? You mean?
No, a derby's it's a hat. It's the
Don't the British call those caps though?
maybe I don't know.
Maybe not.
I don't know.
Anyways, Lord Blake Whitehouse says, "How different would the Bloodline story be if Jim Uso didn't get injured back in 2020?"
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. Who knows? Because who knows if Roman and Jay ever would have had that feud, right when Roman came back.
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, probably. I mean, I don't know. Probably would have gone to the same place. I would think, maybe.
Or maybe they would have stuck with the idea because Roman initially, according to reports, was only supposed to have the belt for a short little bit.
I mean, the bigger question is that day one pay-per-view.
Yeah.
AJ Otani says, with all the female powerhouses of today, are there any dream women's Haas matches you'd want to see? Have we seen Nia versus Piper Niven?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't remember either. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
Joe the Meme Maker says, so with the bloodline so prominent, what wrestling fan? I don't mean to give a shit answer to that last question, but
Here's an answer in terms of two powerhouse competitors. So apparently Bianca used to have like all the combine records at the Performance Center, and then Lash has broken a lot of them.
no kidding, really.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
surprising.
So
Oh, well, we're
See
gonna
that
get that
match.
match too, man. We're gonna
yeah,
get that
it's a good
match.
chance we'll get that match.
You think they're gonna cut? Hey, it kind of feels like Metaphor might be done with, huh? They're not gonna bring up Oro and Noam with them. With Lash
I don't know when
and
Noam's
Takara.
going to be returning from
Well,
injury.
there's that too. Yeah, I'd be kind of surprised if they kept them together for a
I like
call-up.
Oro a lot. I like Oro.
Yeah, he's fine. The Metaphor thing, I love the chemistry. I really do.
Yeah.
I could see them wanting to like split that from
It
main
could be.
roster though.
Could be. Could be.
Let's see here. Oh, so Joe says, with the bloodline so prominent, what wrestling family do you think gets the least recognition but deserves more recognition?
Wow, what an interesting question.
Wrestling family. That's a great question.
You know, it's not like they don't receive recognition, but it seems very much in favor of Randy. It's like Randy Orton's third generation superstar, but they don't really talk about Cowboy Bob a lot.
He's
They
not
don't really talk about
mentioned.
Randy's grandfather.
He was pretty
ever.
important during the golden, the
Yeah.
early Hogan years. Yeah. Yeah. Who's the grandpa?
Bob Orton Sr., I don't know.
Probably. That makes sense.
I don't know. Nate Cruz says in kayfabe, what's Solo's argument for the bloodline being in a better place now?
I'm sorry, what is who's?
What is Solo's argument
right.
for the bloodline being in a better place in kayfabe?
Oh, brother, he ain't got. Well,
Here's what it is. So, Roman was getting, the private jets, the steak, the sushi, the mahi mahi, but
Yeah.
he was making millions of dollars. He was paying for that.
Are you gonna
So
say?
Solo wants to outdo all of that.
Oh, okay.
So it's like Kobe beef.
Wow.
It's all the top tier stuff. Problem is he's on NXT contract still.
Yeah, he's still making like 65 large a year.
He is racking up an incredible amount
So much debt.
of credit card debt.
Lots of debt. Yeah, like 29% APR.
Yeah, he got that W credit card.
What was it? It wasn't Capital One. It was the
No, it was something
Credit
else.
One,
Yeah.
Scam One.
Uh,
Yeah, that's. I thought you were going to go the opposite direction. I thought that he was going to be paring all that down. So it's like, chicken Big Macs every night now. And so he's like, hey, I'm saving the family money. Roman was racking up. Roman was, paying for all this elaborate stuff. We can't afford a jet. Carbon footprint's terrible. So
yeah,
Big Macs and EVs.
yeah.
Jacob, Tonga, Tama, all just farting in that car.
We're all squeezed into a little Prius.
Yeah, man. He's lowering the bloodline's carbon footprint.
There you go. Put your ones up for lowering your carbon footprint.
I'll lower that shit. We'll see. Maybe one day I'll get an EV, man. I got a gas guzzler right now. That's not that bad.
Sebastian here says, what would it take for Steve to acknowledge Solo as his tribal chief?
No.
What if Solo beats Roman at Crown Jewel and retains the Ulafala? At that point, will he have earned the title of tribal chief?
I mean, look, man, I'm not in the bloodline. That's not for me to acknowledge. That's not for me to say. That's not for me to say. I got one title. That's got. Let me ask you something.
Sure.
Let me ask you something. Whose face is this?
Can you hold the picture a little closer to camera, please? I can't make it out. My eyesight's not very good anymore, but that looks like Joe Hawaii, better known as Roman Reigns.
Look at that. Who is this? What does it say?
It says Roman Reigns in the title.
Can you read the lower? Can you read the lowest line? Can you read the top line? What looks better, 1 or 2? Three or 4?
4.
What looks better, 2 or 3?
Oh man, it's giving me a headache.
I got one tribal chief.
Are you gonna dilate my pupils?
Yeah. I hate that shit.
Oh, it's worse trying to drive afterwards.
You'd think by now, man, there's a whole documentary about like how people get really fucked up from LASIK.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I never did. I mean, mine
Oh,
is
yours
fine.
has apparently been great.
I know, and I still can see like the lower line there, and then I can see the top line.
Like, how are their eyes messed up?
I don't know. It just messes them up. It's like a very small percentage of the people, so they make this whole documentary about it, which is sad. It's sad that it did that to people.
Oh, totally.
But yeah, anyways, let's see here. Moving on to Dave Matuszek. With Motor City Machine Guns keeping their names, what other act in wrestling should keep their name intact in WWE when they get signed? Like Ricky Starks is a great name. No need to change that.
The Outrunners.
They should keep. That's a great name. Yeah. Who should? I mean, the better question, really, David Matuszek, is who should change their name?
I know.
Who could be signing? Who could be leaving AEW for WWE? Apparently, the 2025 contracts are not. There's not a whole ton of them.
Yeah. What if? Well, didn't Buddy just re-sign with AEW? I think Buddy re-signed, but what if Brody and Malachi left? So obviously Malachi would go back to Alistair. Would Brody King stay Brody King, or would, if they're a unit, because they've been a tag team long before Alistair went to WB?
Brody King's a cool name.
Yeah.
I feel like King as the first name could be cooler. King something.
All right.
King Cool.
King Cool.
King Vampire.
All right.
And he's like, you're a vampire now. That's right.
What?
Let's see here. Do you have any good? You got questions over there?
Yeah. Luis says, how should they reintroduce the Wise Man, and will he be a vital part of bringing the good bloodline together?
Oh, that's a distinct possibility. He'll be there before Survivor Series.
Yeah, he's got to be there.
You think he
They
travels
get the
with
whole band
WWE?
back together.
You think he travels with WWE?
Oh yeah, yeah. I
Do
still
you think
he works with
Heyman's
Kratos.
backstage?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I think there's a picture recently of him backstage.
Oh, no kidding. Okay.
I think so.
All right, right on. Is he with like Michael Hayes or something?
Oh, I saw him. He was walking in with maybe he was walking in with Roman the day Roman came back. But
Oh,
I feel like he still works there on a regular basis, like from a creative standpoint.
okay.
I could be wrong. That's just my supposition. Payday here says pros and cons of producer-based match versus wrestler-based matches. What do you prefer? Do you like the heavily produced? You got your agent who works and puts your match together. Or you just say, "Hey, wrestlers, go work it out."
Fuck, do I know?
I don't know if
don't
one's
know.
necessarily better than the
I have
other.
no idea. I would not know. I really don't. I mean, they have like producers for AEW matches? I think they do.
They do.
And those are really good matches. It's where the best wrestle. It's where the best produce.
Aussie here says, anyone else project Steve in Roman's place when Solo demanded acknowledgement?
Well, yeah, because Roman's like, I'm only going to acknowledge me. I'm not going to acknowledge you very specifically. Roman Reigns is the tribal. He's OTC.
Well, he's your tribal chief.
He's OTC. You can't deny that he is the original tribal chief.
Well,
Actually,
he's
that's
the
not
original.
even necessarily true. Weren't there tribal chiefs before? There had to have been
Yeah.
tribal chiefs before him.
I would think so, yeah.
Like, was his dad was probably a tribal chief?
Yeah, perhaps. There's probably been
Sika,
numerous tribal
Afa.
chiefs before Roman. He's not the original. He's the original for the sake of the storyline.
Rocky
being told here.
Johnson?
I don't know. High Chief Peter Maivia?
High chief. High chief.
Yeah.
Let's see here. AJ Otani says, what's a move or spot that'd be bad for you and your body specifically? He says his is anything targeting his knees.
Anything for the neck. Pile driver, DDT.
Choke slam.
Yeah. Neck
Ouch.
breaker, Alabama. Anything that's power bomb, anything that impacts the Germans. I can go on. Basically,
Here's
any
the thing
wrestling
about
move.
a tombstone, though. Let's take it out of kayfabe. Tombstone, you're fine.
Yeah, but pile driver, it still looks like your head's making contact with the mat. Not
Do one of them tombstone. You don't want to do a pile driver. Unless you did one of them really lazy ones where they just sort of roll
that's
back.
kind of lay back, yeah.
Those are like the 70s ones.
Like
Tombstone.
Mick Foley did.
You just do the thing where your face is like basically in their dick area.
Yeah.
And you're good.
Yeah.
And then, but when they get to the ground, what do you say? You got me, brother.
You got me, brother.
Let's see here. Gorilla Mon says, Motor City has to win the titles. Is that correct?
No.
Why
They don't have to win
not?
the
Come
titles.
on. Yeah, they do.
They should. It'd be cool if they did, but I don't think they have to.
You think they will?
Depends when the match happens. They can do that at Crown Jewel.
Could be. Nathan Salas says, who do you want to see Motor City face at WrestleMania 41?
Man, I would have said DIY because that match is going to be great.
It's gonna be a good one.
We're getting that next week on free cable television. Fraxium.
Oh, great answer. Great answer.
Or the Good Brothers.
Okay, that's not a great answer. John and Alistair Voice, what's the best story told between a tag team as well as between two tag teams? Between a single tag team, the greatest story ever told, at least in like the last 10 years, probably DIY and NXT.
Yeah. Between two tag teams?
Between two tag teams, Young Bucks and Golden Lovers.
There you go.
I don't know. Shit's
Young
kinda
Bucks
cheap.
and Roppongi Vice. Because there's that match where Trent went for the tope and every guy out of the way just hit ground.
Yeah, that was pretty great. From Punky Vice.
Chips.
Oh,
Everything.
we'll end on this one. Jabroni Town says, who will be the next AEW to WWE defection and vice versa? Who's going to be the next?
I
Dude,
guess the-
Ricky Starks.
Ricky
is fucking
Starks,
done.
probably.
What is going on there, man? What did he do?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's so
What
weird.
did he do? He did something.
He's
did
been like
something.
he's got the did not play coach's decision for months.
Yeah. Did he do the thing that Tom did in Succession? He like take some chicken off of Tony Khan's plate, take a big
Just
bite out of it,
Walks away.
walks away.
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, it's strange. But AEW or WWE to AEW. You need someone that's like in a role similar to Ricochet, where he thinks, "Man, I could be doing so much more in AEW than I'm doing in WWE."
He's like the last. Oh, Apollo Cruz.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, Apollo Cruz.
Yeah, that's not a bad answer.
There you go. All right.
Maybe he'll change his name to Apollo Cruz.
He should. He'll be Uha Nation again.
Yeah.
Which I think is a better name than Apollo Cruz.
Oh, it absolutely is. It's a great name.
Nation. Yeah, that's a good one. Anyways, that's going to do it for the show today. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it. Another great show. Till next time. When are we? They're going to see us again. On Tuesday for our Raw review.
Tuesday, Raw review.
Awesome possum. That's going to do it. We'll see you guys around.
Goodbye.